It's the 11th of June and I'm Tom Glass and welcome to The Roast. Now, with the Labor Party just nowhere to be seen, I'm starting to get a bit worried and that's why I've hired a private investigator.
When was the last time you saw Labor?
Oh gosh, it would have been 5 days ago at the ICAC hearings.
ICAC?
Yeah.
All right, what were they wearing?
Shame. Just head to toe shame.
What about enemies?
Oh, yeah, quite a few.
All right.
Wait, you don't want to know who? Tonight, Jesus Christ and the Labor Party. One of them is igniting debate and stirring people's passions. Can you guess which one? It's the 2,000-year-old dead guy. But before that, the very much alive Mark Humphries has the headlines.
Tony Abbott, the Prime Minister who struggles to connect his lips with cheeks, is in America at the moment and yesterday rung the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange.
All right, okay. Who is this guy? Whoa! Let's make some money. Open for business. Open for business.
Mr. Abbott joins the ranks of other notable bell ringers, including Darth Vader, the cast of Jersey Shore, 2 sea otters, a rock and roll man and his rock and roll friends, a sponge, and a duck. Mr. Abbott took the opportunity to highlight Australia is open for business, unless, of course, your business is coming to Australia by boat, in which case you will never do business in Australia. Also during his American trip, Abbott acknowledged that climate change is a problem, but was keen to assure us that the potential end of the world is not the end of the world.
It's not the only or even the most important problem that the world faces.
The most important problem facing the world, of course, is a shortage of roads. Abbott is also expected to extend former Labor leader Kim Beazley's term as ambassador to the US, presumably part of a new policy to keep Labor members out of the country. Mr. Abbott was glowing in his praise of Kim Beazley.
You are a sanctimonious windbag.
Sorry, that was what Abbott said to Beazley in 2000. What did he say yesterday?
I think Kim Beazley is really one of the most outstanding individuals to be in our parliament and never to be Prime Minister.
Sad to think we'll never know what it was like to have a Prime Minister who is a windbag. Oh wait, yes we would, because that's all of them. But apparently Kim is doing well in the States.
Kim Beazley has done a fine job as our ambassador.
As ambassador, Beazley's duties include lunch, afternoon tea, and of course, dinner. For The Roast, I'm Mark Humphries.
Thank you, Mark. Well, first up tonight, the leader of the opposition. No, that's not him. No, that's not technically right either. Hey, there he is. I think. Bill Shorten, pictured here for getting to open his mouth whilst trying to articulate Labor's policies, hasn't really been in the news much lately. And while they say no news is good news, which incidentally is also the Daily Telegraph slogan, generally people do need to know you exist before you can become Prime Minister. Now, Labor's current strategy appears to be sit back and just ride the wave of Tony Abbott's unpopularity right into government. But since Abbott was the least popular opposition leader ever to be elected to the Prime Ministership, it's not exactly a foolproof strategy. And that brings us to our newest segment, Hey, Labor, do your job! Alex Lee has been on the Labor Party's trail and she joins us now live. Alex.
Tom, the media has been unfair to the Labor Party. Just because they're not as vocal or negative as the coalition was in opposition doesn't mean they're not here.
That's a fair point. So where are they?
They're not here. I thought they'd be holding a press conference right about now, but wait. No, that's a pigeon. Well, it's been so long since I've seen Bill Shorten in the news, I've forgotten what he looks like. You know, it could be him. Mr. Shorten, will you be blocking key reforms in the Senate? Don't fly away from me, Mr. Shorten!
Right. You know, if that pigeon is Bill Shorten, we should update the titles of this segment. Yeah, that's the opposition leader. It would certainly explain why he confuses humans with birds.
Joe Hockey's left looking like a goose, and we've got a lame duck budget with a lame duck treasurer.
And why he shits on statues. Alex, have you found Labor yet?
Tom, the opposition pigeon led me straight here, to the stronghold of unionism, the heart and soul of the Labor Party, the docks on the Melbourne waterfront. But it's eerily quiet. Oh, a clue. We're all at the Royal Commission into Union Corruption. Back in 5 to 10, comrades. Bill Shorten! Bill Shorten!
Oh, God, Alex, what happened? Where are you?
It's Labor's top secret stasis chamber, Tom. It appears that Labor politicians are being kept in suspended animation until 6 weeks before the next election.
Okay, why would they do that?
It's the party's tactic, bide your time and let the government implode. Now, Tom, there's a piece of paper on this tape recorder that says, hit play for Labor's plan for the nation.
Fortunately, has been a massive broken promise built on a lie.
That's annoying.
A tax increase is a tax increase is a tax increase. I think if...
Shut
How
up.
can Australians trust him on anything?
Okay, just shut up, okay?
And a broken promise
Enough.
is most certainly a broken promise.
Shut up.
Fortunately,
Shut up!
Okay, Alex, just let it go.
Shut up, Labour, okay? This is a plan! This is just whining sound bites! Tom, I think I just fixed politics. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Alex. So it looks like the greatest trick Labor ever pulled was convincing the world they didn't exist, which, now that I think about it, wasn't so much a trick as just a really poor effort. And while Alex may be right and Labor is just hiding in the shadows waiting for the opportune moment to strike, they should remember that biding your time only works if you've actually got a foolproof last-minute attack planned.
Hold, comrades. Hold. Hold.
What are we holding for?
Your plan.
I thought you had a plan!
What? My plan was to hold until we surprised them with your brilliant idea.
What? I don't have one! I was in charge of face paint! I thought you had a plan!
Hold! Someone do something!
Broken promises!
Oh, shit!
You know what they've got under their kilts? I don't, but I'm sure we will find out at the inevitable Royal Commission in 3 years' time. Luckily for those guys, though, moments later, the charging army inexplicably turned their swords on each other because of poor polling numbers. And that hapless opposition survived to hold another day. We'll be right back.
Have you ever tried to be a viable alternative by remaining mostly silent? Why are you being so quiet? Are you playing the long game, or do you just not have any ideas? Are you actually a pigeon? We'd love to hear about it. At the Roast TV or hashtag Roast TV or hashtag Hold. Hold.
Finally tonight, gambling company Sportsbet is in hot water for a hot air balloon stunt it pulled over Melbourne yesterday. And no, it wasn't the 5-breasted sky whale getting banged by the Holden blimp. It was just a 46-metre Christ the Redeemer balloon wearing a football jersey. If John Lennon really was bigger than Jesus, then how f***ing big was John Lennon? Also, I don't know what the odds were on the second coming of Christ being a giant gambling blimp, but Sportsbet probably did, and yesterday it would have paid off big time. Now, understandably, many Christians are offended, with Reverend Tim Costello of the Australian Church's Gambling Task Force saying the stunt was overreach and against the principles Jesus stood for. But I say wrong, sir. Jesus was all about the spectacle. He was a total showman. Party tricks, big crowd festivals and disappearing acts. Plus, remember your Bible, Reverend. Yea, my disciples, look to the skies, for I shall return, Zeppelin-like, with the promise of redemption and a cheeky punt. It's in there. Now, Sportsbet was quick to respond, saying the promotion was about the Socceroos, not gambling. And of course it was. It's so obviously about the Socceroos, they didn't even need to mention the Socceroos anywhere. But Sportsbet did acknowledge it's always hard to predict how people will react to such a public display of support. Okay, although using the motto, keep the faith, isn't so much support as it is praying for a miracle. That is appropriate though, because analysts have run the numbers on the World Cup and calculated Australia has a soccer power index of 0.0. So even for people of faith, that is asking a lot. The koala that arrived third to Noah's Ark Enrolment Centre had better odds than that. And in terms of Sportsbet's responsibility here, let's not forget, gamblers and Christians are both highly impressionable groups of people, believing in unseen forces and praying for miracles.
Lord, I've gambled my entire life away. I've lost my wife, my kids, my house, the keys to my house, though that doesn't matter. I know I should stop. I need to stop. If you want me to give up gambling, just give me a sign.
Oh, wow!
Woo! Cha-ching, inflatable Jesus!
And that's it for tonight's show. Also, Lord, if you want me to stop looking at anthropomorphic aquatic porn, then give me a sign.
Oh, wow!